Good morning everyone and welcome to the class. In the previous class we were discussing about the functions of Patwari under the chapter Rural Administration in Civics, and we have seen that the most important function of Patwari is to keep land records, and he not only keep land records but he also updates it because so many changes take place in the ownership of land, in the area of land. So it is his duty to update the land records. And we have also analyzed one of the pages of the register of Patwari, and in this we have seen that how the map of the land which belonged to different people was given, and in the same page there was also so many informations regarding the land was made, and the informations were given in a table, and there were so many columns in the table. In the first column we have seen that the number of the land, which was denoted by different numbers, and then the area of the land was given, and then the owner of the land, and after the owner it was there was one more column in which it was the information which was given in that column was that the land is given to someone on rent or not. If yes, then what is the rent which was received by the owner. And after that there was a column for the agricultural how much area is used for cultivation, and in this there were many other columns also in which crop was grown. In one column it was given, then how much area was used for that crop, then the information regarding the second crop and the area on which this second crop was cultivated. And besides all these things, there was also one column for about the facilities which was there on the land, like well is available on the land or not, then hand pumps are there or not, and like this. So we have seen the utility of keeping these land records. If the land records are kept properly and if it is updated timely, then it is very useful for the purpose of solving any kind of land issue between two or more people. Like we have seen that Mohan and Raghu has dispute regarding the land, and for that purpose Mohan went to police station also. And in this regard we have seen the functions, the work of the police, then we saw the area of the police station, and then now we are seeing the work of the Patwari. And we can understand very well that if these records are there, then the dispute regarding the land between two or more people can be resolved in a peaceful manner, because everything is there in a written form in the register of Patwari. Okay, and now if dispute is there, then the people involved will go to the Patwari and they will ask for the measurement of the land, and the Patwari will measure the land, and if he finds that the land which has been measured by him is different, the area of the land which has been measured by Patwari is different from what is written in the register, then it means that something wrong has been done. Like it was alleged by Mohan that Birju has displaced the Bandh in order to capture some part of his land. So in this situation, what will happen? The Patwari will measure the land of both the person, Birju and Mohan and Raghu. Okay, and when the Patwari will see the area of the land of Mohan and the area of the land of Raghu, if the area is same as it is written in the register, then everything is fine. But if there is difference in area, then it means that something is wrong. Suppose we have seen the area of the Mohan's land was 0.75 hectare. And area of Raghu's land was 3 hectare. It was written in the land record of Patwari. Now we see that there is land dispute between these two people. Now if Mohan goes to Patwari and asks him for the measurement, and Patwari comes and he measures the land of both the people, and if he find that the area of Mohan's land has been reduced, it is not 0.75 actually, in reality it has been reduced to 0.50 hectare, and on the other hand Raghu's land has been increased to 3.25 hectare. It means, what does it mean? Raghu's land has been increased from 3 hectare to 3.25 hectare. It has been increased by 0.25 hectare. And we see that Mohan's land, the area of the Mohan's land has been reduced from 0.75 hectare to 0.5 hectare. It means there is reduction of 0.25 hectare. तो जो मोहन का जो एरिया रिड्यूस हुआ है वही एरिया जो है वो रघु का बढ़ गया है. इट मीन्स कि रघु ने जो बंद था उसको उसने डिस्प्लेस किया था इस तरह से कि रघु के लैंड जो है वो 0.25 हेक्टेयर बढ़ गई एरिया में, और मोहन का जो लैंड था वो 0.25 हेक्टेयर कम हो गया. सो क्या हो गया, अब किसी भी तरह की प्रूफ की ज़रूरत नहीं है. इट इज़ प्रूफ इन itself, isn't it? So the matter can be resolved in a peaceful way. So now we will see, we have also seen all these things, that Patwari, other than keeping and updating land records, he has some other works to do. He organized people in collection of land revenue. Okay, because he is an employee of Department of Revenue. So collection of land revenue is done by Patwari, and besides the register of Patwari, in which so many informations are there regarding the area of the land which has been cultivated, then what crops were produced, then first crop, second crop, all the informations are there in the registrar of Patwari. These informations are given by Patwari to the government, so that government can calculate all these things and provide data regarding the agricultural production to the whole country. Whole country should know what is the condition of agricultural productivity in the country. So all these functions are done by Patwari. We have completed our discussion regarding Patwari, and after this we have also seen that in order to the efficiency of administration, in order to achieve the efficiency of administration in our country, what is done, that districts are divided into many small regions, many subdivisions. these subdivisions are called tehsils. Okay, so we will see it. For the purpose of efficiency of administration, districts have been subdivided. एक जो डिस्ट्रिक्ट होती है उसको कई सारे छोटे छोटे पार्ट्स में बांट दिया जाता है. ओके, and all these parts are called tehsil. All these parts are called tehsils. Why this division? Why districts have been divided into so many parts? The more there will be parts, it will be easy to administer. The administration will become efficient if the districts are divided into smaller parts. Then what will happen? That the administration of this part will be given to a particular officer, and he will be responsible for this tehsil, and another person will be responsible for this tehsil. So in this way, what will happen, that one person will be given the charge of only a smaller area, and he will be able to do the work in a more efficient manner, isn't it? इसको तुम एक क्लास की तरह समझ सकते हो. सपोज करो if in a class there are 100 students, and if in a class there are 40 students, so which class will be easier to manage by the class teacher or the teacher? The class in which there are 40 students will be easier to manage by the teacher. Teacher can manage the class in an efficient manner. Teacher can teach the class in an efficient manner because 40 students are there, and these 40 students can be managed. There can be discipline. Discipline can be maintained in the class. But if in the class there are 100 students, then it will be difficult for the teacher to maintain discipline, to teach properly. So in the similar way, in order to do the administration in an efficient manner, what is done, that districts are subdivided into smaller parts, and these subdivisions of districts are called tehsils. We have discussed up to this. Okay, and now we will move further. Okay, so I am in page 53. Page 53, first column, this first paragraph. Okay, first column, first paragraph, page number 53. All states in India are divided into districts. The first division is, I told you yesterday also, India is a whole country. Then this country has been divided into different states. For the whole country, there is a central government. Okay, then the country is divided into different states. For each state, there is state government. Okay, then again the division is done, that we see that states, all the states are divided into different districts. Okay, now this division is not final, there is more division, that is tehsil, isn't it? So we see these subdivision, or for managing matters relating to land, these districts are further subdivided, which I told you just now. Districts are again subdivided, and these subdivisions of a district are known as different names such as tehsil, तालुका. इसके अलग अलग नाम होते हैं. At some places they are known as tehsil, at some places they are known as तालुका. So what is tehsil and or taluka? Tehsil or taluka is the subdivision of district. Okay. At the head is the district collector, and under her are the revenue officers, also known as tehsildar. So what we find that who is at the head of the district. At the head of the district is district collector, and these subdivisions which are called tehsil or taluka, these are under one officer and revenue officer, and this revenue officer is known as tehsildar. So each tehsil has one revenue officer, and this revenue officer is known as tehsildar. Okay, and this tehsildar is responsible for his tehsil only, and the district collector is responsible for whole district. So all the tehsildars are working under the supervision of district collector. Getting it? Now we will see these this is about tehsildars. Tehsildars have to hear dispute. They also supervise the work of the patwaris and ensure that records are properly kept and land revenue is collected. So what are the functions of tehsildar? Tehsildar he also hears disputes regarding land, as we have seen the dispute between Mohan and Raghu. Likewise, so many disputes arise between different people regarding the land. So these disputes are resolved by tehsildar at the tehsil level. We are talking about tehsil level. Okay, so he also hears tehsil land disputes. Other than resolving the land dispute, an important function of the tehsildar is to supervise the function of patwari. We have just discussed about patwari. So we can see how all these things are working. Tehsildar is under district collector, and under this tehsildar there are patwaris. Okay, district collector is there at the district level, and tehsildar is there at the tehsil level, and patwaris are at the village level. So the function of tehsildar is to settle the land dispute. Other than this, he also supervises the functions of patwari, and in this regard it sees that patwari is keeping the land records properly or not, he is updating the land records or not, he is keeping record of the crops and cultivated area or not. So all the functions of patwari is supervised by tehsildar. So this is a kind of hierarchical structure. सबसे नीचे पटवारी, पटवारी के ऊपर तहसीलदार, and then तहसीलदार के ऊपर district collector. This is at the village level, this is at the tehsil level, and this is at the district level. So they make sure that the farmers can easily obtain a copy of their record. So the other function of tehsildar is to provide copy of land, is to provide the land documents to the farmers. Many situations arise when farmers need the land documents. They must have the document regarding the ownership of their land, regarding the area of their land. So this land document is provided to the farmers by the tehsildar. Other than providing the farmers land records, the other function is also to provide students the caste certificates, because it is our system in which some castes are given some benefits by the government. So in order to get those benefits, the students belonging to those castes like scheduled castes, scheduled tribes and other backward class, they have to produce the caste certificate in order to get the benefit of the government. So these caste certificates are also provided by the Tehsildar. So these are the functions of the Tehsildar. The Tehsildar's office is where land disputes are also heard. So these are all the functions of Tehsildar. Now we will come to a new part. Okay, it's a quite a different thing. We will see. It starts with a poem. You can see it is here. It's a poem, A Daughter's Wish. Okay. Now we will do a Daughter's Wish. It's a poem. What is the wish of a daughter? Okay. Father inherited our house from his father, and everyone says he will leave it to brother. But what about me and my mother? So, what is this poem? This is about the condition of woman which is existing in our society. A girl is saying that the house in which she lives, this house belongs to her grandfather, and her father got this house from his father, that is the grandfather of the girl. Getting it ना? बच्चे के grandfather ने जो house grandfather का था, that house was given from grandfather to the father. Okay. Now again, and everyone says he will leave it to brother. The girl says that all the people who are around us, they say that this house will become the house of my brother after the death of his father. Okay. In this way, what we see, that a house which belonged to grandfather, now this house is belonging to the father, and in the future this house will belong to brother. And in this whole story, where is the mother and the sister? What about mother and the sister? Father को तो मिल गया, but mother को नहीं मिला. Brother को तो मिल गया, but sister को नहीं मिला. Okay. So father inherited our house from his father, and everyone says he will leave it to brother. But what about me and my mother? To expect a share in my father's house is not very womanly, I am told. So what people say, that a girl or a woman does not get any share in the house, in the ownership of the house. So you should not expect a share in your father's house, because this house belongs to your brother. Okay. So this is not the way our society work. In our society, this is the system, that the property gets transferred from grandfather to father, from father to brother. No role for mother and sister. So don't expect any share in the ownership of the house. The girl is told by people around her. But I really want a place of my own, not dowry of silk and gold. So the girl is saying that I am also the daughter of my father, just like my brother. I also need my own place. I don't want dowry. I don't want dowry of silk and gold. I just want my share in the house, because we both are same. My brother and I both are the children of my father, and both must have their share in the house. So this is the wish of a daughter, that she is not she does not want to get dowry, but she want her share, her place, her own place. Okay, because she has also emotional attachment with the house. The house also belongs to her. She has spent all her life up to the year of 20-25 with in the house. So she feels a kind of emotional attachment with the house. So she wants her share also. Now we will the page number 54. A new law, Hindu Succession Amendment Act 2005. In 2005, a new law has been came into effect, and this was Hindu Succession Amendment Act. Hindu Succession Amendment Act 2005. Okay. Often when we think of farmers who own land, we think of men. Women are seen as people who work on the field. It is the general perception of society. Owner of the land is always male. It is in our mind. We can't think of a woman as landowner. Woman is there only to work on the farm. She is not the owner of the land. She is only the worker on the land. But not as people who own agricultural land. Women are not the people who can own agricultural land. Till recently, in some states, Hindu women did not get a share in the family's agricultural land. Hindu women in Hindu, it's only about Hindu religion. Okay, people who belongs to Hindu community. In a Hindu women, they cannot get any share in the agricultural land of the family. Okay. After the death of the father, his property was divided equally only among his sons. Okay, this was the system. This was the rule of the community, that after the death of the father, whatever agricultural land, whatever ancestral land is there, that will be divided only among the sons, and daughters will not be given any share in that property. Recently, the law was changed. In the new law, sons, daughters and their mothers can get an equal share in the land. So now the law has changed by this Hindu Succession Amendment Act of 2005. Now the property will not be distributed only among the sons of the person, but it will be equally divided among son, daughter and mother. Mother is also given a share in the property. So this situation has changed after this Amendment Act of 2005. The same law will apply to all state and union territories of the country, and in this regard our government has made it clear that this Amendment Act is uniform for all the states. ये नहीं होगा कि नहीं किसी स्टेट की जो स्टेट गवर्नमेंट है वो अपना अलग से कानून बना सकती है. नो, दिस इज नॉट डन. All the states and all the union territories have to accept this act. All have to do according to the provisions of this Amendment Act. This is the amendment in the Hindu code bill. Okay, so this amendment has been enforced. Now you will see this law, how this law will benefit women? Now they are given the share in their agricultural land. This law will benefit a large number of women. For example, we can see it with example. Sudha is the eldest daughter of an agricultural family. Okay, she is the eldest daughter. Sudha is married and lives in a neighborhood village. She is a married woman and now she is living in a neighborhood village. After her father's death, Sudha often comes to help her mother with the farming work. So what happens that his father has died, and after the death of his father, her father, she always comes to her mother in order to help her in the agricultural work. Okay, her mother has asked the Patwari to transfer the land and enter her name along with the names of all the children in his record. Now her mother is saying that Sudha should also get a share in the land, agricultural land which they are owing, and for that purpose he has asked the Patwari to enter her name also in the inheritance, people who are going to inherit the land. Not only the sons, but Sudha will also get a share in the agricultural land of the family. This was the request of Sudha's mother from the Patwari to enter her name also. Sudha's mother confidently organizes the farming with the help of the younger brother and sister. Now Sudha's mother is doing all the agricultural activity with the help of her sons and daughter. Similarly, Sudha also lives with the assurance that if she ever has a problem, she can always depend upon her share of the land. Now Sudha has also a kind of assurance that if any kind of problem arise in her life, any kind of so many problems arise in the family, there may be some economic problem, there may be some personal problems. So in that situation she can rely on this land because now she is a land owner. So in this way we can say that this new Amendment Act, Hindu Succession Amendment Act, has contributed a lot in improving the condition of women in the society, because up to now, before this act, women were not considered as owner of the land, they were only worker of the land, but now they are the owner of the land. They are getting a share in the ancestral property of the family. So this is all for today, and we will